Hi, Katie.
Hello.
I
Hi
know
guys.
you know.
Hey. So much to unpack here about season two. I want to start with the biggest cliffhanger of them all. John B's dad is alive. How is John B going to react to that chase when he finds out? And what does that mean for season three?
Man, I had the same question. When I read that in the script, I had an inkling because we left enough little Easter eggs I felt like in season one, but we didn't know at the time, right? Like it was fully by the time we finished season one, went into season two, there was no conversation about his dad being alive. So when we got that script, I was like, oh my gosh, this changes everything, this
Yeah.
whole journey. And then the fact that Limbri and his dad know each other, it was just that I didn't know how to process. I felt like my internal circuits were just shutting down. So I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to see how that impacts everything, and how does that change John B's dynamic? Is he going to accept it? Is he not? Is he going to open up with his son about what he was doing and how he was involved with these people? I just think it opens so many doors. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Maddie, for you, I feel like Sarah had the most heartbreaking journey this season, from watching her dad seemingly die to realizing he is still alive. Her brother shot her, tried to drown her. What did you make of Sarah's journey overall this season, and what does her family dynamic look like moving forward?
I don't even know. I don't know. It was a lot to navigate, and I'm really lucky to play that dynamic across from Drew Starkey and Chip Eston, because they're just so incredibly specific, but in their intentions and their direction, and they're incredible to work opposite of. But I don't. I think for me, I mean, and I'm pretty sure Sarah is on the same page. Like, just done. Like,
Yeah.
done with that. It's a show. So I feel like at this point, it's for her, it's no brainer that home is the people around her, and that's the folks. And so I'd really love to see her gain like independence, and like complete independence in herself, and find home elsewhere.
Speaking of home, John B and Sarah did get married. When are they going to start telling more people?
They didn't really tell a lot of people, did they? It was like they told the ex-boyfriend, and he didn't even tell the ex-girlfriend.
I just am wondering, like, are we gonna get a full wedding in season three? I feel like they deserve that.
I think that they deserve all of the relaxing time after everything that they've gone through. It was interesting. I mean, like they made the comment, and then you're kind of like, oh wow, that just kind of flew over a lot of people's heads. But I think that's the John B and Sarah way a little bit.
Yeah.
I think so. I feel like it'd be really fun in season three, if we get one, to see them actually start to like truly get to know each other, like in a very real sense. Like, they're married, but they actually kind of don't know a whole lot about each. I feel like that would be really fun.
Yeah.
And they've obviously been through a lot together, but like, right, or just I feel like if like Sarah tries to, in a total Rachel Green moment, Sarah tries to bake a cake and puts like peas and beef in it, and it's like, here, babe,
and he's like,
cake for you.
Ew. Do you guys think 16 is too young for them to be married? And do you guys in your real lives talk about marriage, or do you just leave that to the John B and Sarah of it all?
I definitely think 16. Well, look, everybody has their own experience, right? Like it works for some people. I mean, we've seen couples who got married at 16 who are now in their 80s and early 90s who are still together and wildly in love. So I don't think that the age should specifically define it. I think love is something that should move that needle. And
love is
I
love.
think love is love. I think with John B and Sarah,
yeah,
they're going through it, right? Like this is just a crazy experience for them. Like they've gotten married, they've had everything that's happened in the Bahamas, and then everything after that. I think it'll be an interesting thing to move forward from, and I'm excited to see, kind of like what Matt said. what is it like when they finally get a second to get to know each other
Right.
and really have the questions of
Yeah. I feel like that's a really endearing part about love. And I also think when you know, you know.
I love that. That is true, though. When you know, you know. We did see a few hiccups for John B. and Sarah, especially when jealousy came into play. Who handles conflict better, John B. and Sarah, or Chase and Maddie?
I'd
Mhm.
put us in the column. I think we're better.
Yeah.
John B is such a little sourpuss. Like he's always getting so pissed about the dumbest things. Like it was such a harmless thing. Obviously, like there's the toxic masculinity going on between Topper and John B in that moment, but it was like a simple act of kindness. And obviously, Sarah doesn't deserve anything of what John B does in that moment. And he definitely needs to work on his attitude. I think me and John B need to have a talk.
Yeah.
We go back and just say, hey man, you need to stop being a jealous little boy.
I don't know though. I feel like it was so. I mean, like sometimes, I've had moments where I've been incredibly jealous and very petty, and it's over like nothing huge. And like I feel like, I mean, even though he was being such a pill, I feel like sometimes that's incredibly real though. Like sometimes you just can't help it.
I think it was less at Sarah, more at Topper. You know what I mean? Like
For
less.
sure, it was misplaced.
Yeah, and that's what I mean with John B. Like John B is always sort of misfiring. He's like, I'm gonna aim right here, and then I'm gonna accidentally shoot all the way to the right. You just get it completely miscomputed. So.
So funny. Everyone does think that the Pogues are missing. Carla Lambry is still out there. Are they going to Barbados in season 3? Have you heard about what's next for them? What was
No, we have no idea. That is just as much a question mark to us as it is to everyone else. So we're just as excited to find out.
Is there anything that you would love to see explored in season 3 for each of you?
Chase?
Yeah, I think what is this dynamic with John B and his father going to be like? He's been sort of manically chasing this idea of getting his father back and not believing that he's alive for a while. And what does that do to your psyche when you finally realize that this whole sort of crazy chaotic experience kind of comes to a close because everything that you were chasing is actually real. It's alive. He is alive. He does still have his father. And then I also think, how do you adjust back to normalcy? I mean, these kids have gone through so much. They've seen things that most people don't see in their single lives, let alone in a 2-week span or whatever the timeline is now. And so I think I'm really interested in that. And then how the hell are they going to get off this island? Like the boat was popped. They're stuck. John B's still trying to find the silver lining and everything, which kind of comes to a beautiful conclusion. But I'm very interested to kind of see where that goes. And then obviously, what does young love turn into? Is it going to be walking into the sunset, or are we going to see the honest 2 cents of what it's like to be young and in love and continue to see little things be wedged in between? Or part of me wants to see John B and Sarah be like a old married couple, like sitting there laughing about something really dumb.
TV trays, watching a movie.
I know. It's like, let's go watch some interviews today.
Yeah.
What's the latest TV show that we should watch? There.
Entertainment Tonight, always.
Yeah.
I think Brendan's definitely sweating this moment. Piper arrives, and it looks like Natasha's gonna rip his head off.
2-3 weeks ago, there was a big rumor going around that Brendan and Piper were in a relationship. Brendan and I had a conversation about it. He said it was casual, and I believed him.
I can only imagine Natasha might feel some type of way, building something with Brendan and then watching someone who might potentially have a relationship with Brendan outside of Paradise walk in. I'm sure she was